Hey guys, what's up? It's Larry the Batman fan here. I figured I'd show off my Wii games for y'all. I got two big stacks right here to show y'all, so I won't waste much time. I'm gonna get right into it. I do need to say this though. I had more Wii games in the past. Like you go back to my old channel, the very first channel I had, Larry Cool the Gamer. That channel had I had shown off pretty much every Wii game that I had at the time, but a lot of those games got sold or traded off. So I had to get my Wii games back because I one day was feeling very nostalgic for these titles, so I ended up getting them back. So the moral of the story is do not sell your games. The game stores will rip you off and give you practically nothing for each game. And then you're going to have to get them back because you're going to want to play them again. So the best thing to do, unless it's like doubles of games, just don't sell them. Destroy All Humans, Big Wooly Unleashed. Um, this game was disappointing. Really not as good as the Destroy All Humans 1 and 2 game that were on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Those were the best. This one's really not that good, to be honest with you. And the one that was on the Xbox 360, that one also really sucked. So it's a shame to see that Destroy All Humans games went downhill. Manhunt II, this was a pretty good game. It's a stealth game, but it does have combat in it. It was made by the people of Rockstar. They got this game ported on the PS2 as well, but surprisingly, they released one of the most violent games on the Wii. Was Manhunt 2 here, although they censored the fatalities in the game because originally the game was going to be rated adult, but they censored those fatalities for it to get an M rating. I don't think the adults only games are really allowed. They've been like banned from being released out in North America. I don't know why that is, but yeah, this is a stealth game, and it is a pretty good game. You and one other guy are the only survivors, and basically y'all have to work together to get out of that crazy place you were in. And yeah, it's a pretty good game. There was a few glitches in the game though. I mean, there was this one glitch where I fell through the platform and I ended up killed because of that lousy glitch, and I had to start the level over again. I tell you, that really sucked. But other than that, yeah, it was still a pretty good game. I recommend it. Saint is a piece of crap. Please don't buy this game. I thought it'd be good. I bought it with like three other games, and honestly, the three other games were much better. I bought it off eBay. They were selling buy three Wii games get one free, and I was looking through. Some of them were picked through some of the good titles. You know, the Kirby's, the Zeldas, the Sonic Colors, and things like that. You know, the last story. So I had to settle for this game. And I played it once, and it's not really that great of a game. It's a shooter that goes this way. I think that's vertical. I could be wrong. It could be horizontal. I'm not good with that sort of thing. But it really wasn't that great because the enemies come at you really slow, you know. And for a bullet hell shooter, that's not really a good thing. They're supposed to come a little bit faster to you. It's not supposed to be a really slow game, but that's what this game does. So this game stinks, unfortunately. Monster 4x4 World Circuit. I also had the other monster truck game. I gave it to Joseph. This is a pretty good game, good racing game. Although I like the second one better, Stunt Racer, I believe is what it was called. Because in that one, you could go 360. Like you could go up the walls like this. You know, and it had like a 360 look of it. This one doesn't have that, but it was still a pretty fun racing game. I didn't mind it. Good racing game. And plus, you can play four players. I never played four players there, split screen. But yeah, it's a fun game. I recommend it. Alien Syndrome. This was alright. It wasn't a bad game. It still had some enjoyable things about the game. It was fun to kill aliens. It's kind of like an updated version of the old Alien Syndrome, which I have played that one because I had a Sega Classics Collection game for PS2 that had it on there. So I did get to play the original one. But from what I played, it was an okay game. It wasn't bad. It's also available on the PSP. Brothers in Arms Double Time. And the reason they call this game Double Time is because you get Road to Hill 30 and Earned in Blood on the same disc, or two different discs rather, but in the same collection here. Road to Hill 30, and there's Earned in Blood. I have both of these games for PS2, and honestly, they look practically identical to the PS2 version. There isn't much difference between the two. I mean, honestly, I think they should have improved the graphics, but it doesn't seem like it quite looks like Wii graphics. They look more like PS2 graphics. So that really stinks that they didn't like upgrade the graphics. You know, I mean, put some effort into your games, Nintendo. Don't make it look like the same counterparts. Otherwise, what would have been the point of paying $50 for this game when it first released? Now, of course, I got this game for around $10 or $15, so that's worth that price. But when this game first came out, I'd been kind of pissed off had I had bought it for $50. But it's still the same two great games, and it's not bad. I wouldn't recommend the multiplayer. The multiplayer in this series is trash. You're better off just playing the campaign mode. But it is still pretty good for what it is. Just the graphics don't really look that good. Spy Games Elevator Mission. This is a hidden gem. I feel it's a shooter, and it's not bad. I like it. You go from level to level, and you just shoot everything in sight. It's like kind of like playing Time Crisis in a way. It's good. And you play as a secret agent here. You can tell. There's some of the screenshots, but yeah, I like it. It was a pretty good game. I recommend it. If you can get it for like $15 or less, I recommend that. Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. I think I got this one for free from my man Gimpy Ninja, because when I buy in bulk, he hooks me up with 2 or 3 free games, which is awesome. I have not played this one yet because I haven't beaten the first one, but I know that it's a pretty good game for Disney standards. Deer Drive. This I got with Saint and 2 other games. This game was okay. But the fact that the deer and the other animals go down in one hit, that's just that defies the laws of physics. Like, that's really stupid. Like, if I shoot a deer in the rear end and it still moves and gets up, or doesn't get up rather from one hit, that's really dumb, because if a deer got shot and its stomach, then yeah, it would go down in one hit, or its head, yeah. But if you shoot it in like its legs or its ass, it wouldn't go down. It would still get back up and run. It would just be limping a little bit. So the physics in this game are really dumb. You know, it's not on the level of Cabela's where it makes sense. But for like a simplistic shooter that's not complicated and it doesn't make you shoot a certain animal, from what I remember, like it does with Cabela, that is a plus for this game. But I don't think this game is really that great either. I think it's just okay. Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles. Okay, now this game is great. All except for the voice acting. Because they basically took the Resident Evil game that was on the GameCube, Resident Evil 0, and then they flipped it from you controlling the characters into like a side-scrolling shooter. So when you play the game, it's on rails. That's basically what it is. But it's actually enjoyable. Although Rebecca's voice definitely does not sound like Rebecca Chambers, like it does in the GameCube version. But that doesn't mean that this game is terrible. This game is still pretty good for a Resident Evil game. I do consider this in my top 20 best Nintendo Wii games that you could play. This and the Dark Side Chronicles, they are very good games. But I definitely noticed one or two flaws. Plus, it gets really hard, like really quick, and that's not the way games are supposed to be. They're not supposed to get hard after the first level. It's supposed to be through progression and time that the game gets harder to beat. So I will say that it's not quite fair and balanced for like other Resident Evil games. But then again, how many games in the Resident Evil franchise can you say actually control like a light gun shooter? History Channel, Battle for the Pacific. This is a good game. I like this game. This was a good first-person shooter. It's also available on the PS2. The graphics look slightly better on this version, but not very much, to be honest. I really couldn't tell that much of a difference between this and the PS2 version. The Wii definitely needed to look better. Like a lot of their games they had ports of, they really didn't look better than the PS2 or PS3 versions. They looked assy, they really did. Hot Wheels Track Attack, I also have had in the past. Hot Wheels beat that, and they're both good Hot Wheel games. Very fun racing games, very arcadey style. I like them. They're a lot of fun to play. Definitely fun if you got two players, race around the tracks and play and the Hot Wheels cars. Of course, I always usually choose the blue car because it's my favorite color. But yeah, it's a fun game. I recommend it if you guys are looking for decent Wii games that aren't shit. Wii Sports Resort. This is a good game. A lot of the sports games that tried to be like Wii Sports failed. 30 Great Games failed. Deca Sports failed. A lot of them failed. But Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resorts and the Mario Sports games really nailed it. They know what they're doing with those. They're not playing around. But yeah, Wii Sports Resort, they upgraded the original Wii Sports and have 12 sport games to play. It was actually quite good. I'm very surprised by this one. But this is definitely one you want to make sure that you have the right controller for. Because if you get a Wii remote that doesn't have Wii Motion Plus or a system that doesn't have Wii Motion Plus, then you can't play this game. So make sure you have a Wii and a Wii remote that has Wii Motion Plus in order to play it. MX vs. ATV Untamed. This is also available on the PSP and the PS2. It's a pretty fun racing game. You can use bikes and motorcycles in the game, or ATVs rather. And it's just a blast to play, going around the tracks, tearing up the dirt, and getting in first place. It's a good racing game, and I recommend it if you're a fan of racing games. Firefighter. You play as a firefighter in this game. You go through levels saving civilians and putting out fires. It was not a bad game. It's actually a decent game for Wii. I recommend it. Alright, got a couple on the top here, and then we'll move to the last stack. Of course, we got Mario Kart Wii. One of the best games on the Wii. You must own this game if you have a Wii. It is a must own. It is great. You get a lot of tracks from the original for the Super Nintendo one and the N64 and for the GameCube. And you race around the tracks and stuff. I don't think there wasn't anything really new for the Wii, though. They should have added a few more tracks into the game. And honestly, they had coin runners, I believe, in the game, but I don't think they had a balloon battle mode, which was really stupid, because that mode is really fun. But the online in the game was excellent. The online was very fun to play against people all over the world, and hit them with that blue shell or the red shell, and go for first place. It really is a blast playing Mario Kart. You can't go wrong with this game. It's excellent. Agatha Christie, Evil Under the Sun. I got this for dirt cheap on eBay. It was about $10. I haven't played it yet, but I do look forward to playing it. I'm sure it's a point and click adventure game. There is another one on the Wii, and then there were none, which I've heard from the Wii viewer that it's not very good. But we'll see how this one is. I've been dying to play it. I just haven't had the time with a full-time job. So one I look forward to playing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up. This is a good fighting game, good licensed game. I put this in my top 20 best games, so y'all know that this is a pretty good game for the Ninja Turtles. But stay away from that Ninja Turtles game that came out in 2008 based off the movie, because that game's not really that great. Build and Race. This was a pretty fun game, good racing game. You build a car, and then eventually you design like a track or something, and then you race on the track. It's pretty cool. I like the customization in the game. I thought it was pretty fun to race around. You kind of hold the Wii remote sideways, so that way you could like drive. It was fun. I liked it. Pretty good game. And then we got Wii Play, and Wii Play is a piece of crap. Like, they basically made this game to sell with their Wii remotes. That's the reason why people were paying $50. But this game was shit. There was really nothing good about this game. The mini games in this game suck. The only one that was good was billiards. The rest of the game pretty much sucks. It sucks. It's no good. Terrible game. Alright, now we move on to the next stack. Speed Racer, the video game based off the movie. It was actually a decent game. It was really fun racing around the tracks. The levels were very colorful and bright. I liked the colors and everything. And there was a lot of talking going on, a lot of repetitive dialogue. But overall, the game was fast and speedy, and it was a blast to play. I definitely think that this game is underrated. I know Metal Jesus Rocks talked about this in his Hidden Gems video, but it was good. It was a good movie, yeah, and a good video game. Not bad. Every now and then you get a licensed game that's pretty good, and that one's good. Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templars. I paid about $20. Got this from my main man, Gimpy Ninja, and I haven't played it yet, but I know it's like an adventure game. Some of the games in this series play more like an action RPG with adventure. I think this one is just labeled as an adventure game. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I got this for free off my man Gimpy Ninja. You rock, dude. This game's pretty good. It's also good on the PS3 and the 360 version, but I definitely wanted to experience it on the Wii, and I will say it does look a little bit downgraded, but it plays differently. It plays like an Unreal shooter in a way, and the Wii remote and the nunchuck, it kind of like move right, it moves right. You move left, it moves left. So it definitely had a different experience while playing the game, and it was pretty good. Okay, now this may offend some of y'all, but I actually thought Red Steel was a pretty good game. I don't know why there was so much hate on this game, because honestly I thought it was a pretty good shooter. I thought it was fun throwing the grenade and blowing up the bad guys when they least expect the grenade to land on the ground. I thought the shooting worked well, and the only thing that really was a bit broken was the sword fighting. That was a bit of a pain in the ass. But the rest of the game was actually pretty fun. And plus it had multiplayer in it, which was a blast. I don't think the second game had multiplayer. Or if it did, it was online only. Whoops, dropped the game. If it did, it was online only, I think. But yeah, this game's not as bad as everyone says. Every now and then there'll be a game that someone says is crap. But I actually had some fun playing it and thought it was enjoyable. This happened to be one of those titles, so I thought it was pretty good, despite a few flaws. Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire, very good game. Although the graphics could have looked a lot better. I mean, the graphics really didn't look that great. They didn't even look like Wii graphics. They looked like PS1 graphics. I mean, that sucks. Getting a Wii game and finding out it looks terrible is a disappointment. But other than that, it was a decent hack and slash fighting game, like adventure type game. Oh yes, the moment we've all been waiting for, Super Mario Galaxy. How we love, 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 love you. You are awesome. This is a gem. This is the best game on the system. You can't go wrong with this game. This and the sequel, Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I used to have. Excellent game all around. If you have a Wii and you don't have this game, I think you need to see a doctor or seek professional help because you really need to get this game. It is definitely the best game on the system. And there's lots of exploring in it. Beautiful, colorful levels that look definitely like a Wii game. You waggle the Wii remote and it goes, wah, wah, to whack the enemies and stuff. Collect a little gold. Well, not gold, the colorful crystals like the green, red, blue, orange, yellow, all those crystals and stuff. Have a little star friend to help you out in the game. And there's also space travel going on in the game. So it is an epic game on the Wii. Marines Modern Urban Combat. While the graphics may look kind of crappy, the game is actually not too bad for a first-person shooter. I had some fun with this game. I don't know why there's some hate on this one. I understand that not all shooters on the Wii look great, but honestly, this game wasn't that bad. Honestly, I had some fun with it. Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. I got this game for free because my main man, Gippy Ninja, he always hooks me up when I order big. 2 or 3 free games, which is awesome. I know this game is also on PS2. It's a good Star Wars game. I recommend it. It's actually underrated in my opinion. Compared to other Star Wars games that are more well known, like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 and Republic Commando, this one kind of falls under the radar. But it's a good game and I recommend it. Okay, these couple I got off of Guy, a 20 lot game. A couple of the games I already had, so those titles are going to Jackal Gold Kick since he won the second contest. But we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Honestly, a great game. Great game. Can't complain with that one. And then we have another epic one in here. We have Super Paper Mario. And that's another good game. I'm not going to say great game because when you compare it to like Paper Mario 64 and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, it makes this one look weaker in this franchise. And Color Splash on the Wii U. But all in all, it's still not a bad game. And I still do recommend this game. It's not bad. If you can get it for like $20 or less, I recommend it. The story in the game, though, is kind of garbagey, though. And then the last one, which is not an epic game, but it's okay if you like finding stuff. I Spy Spooky Mansion. Yep. So that game's okay. So yeah, the seller had like 20 games in the lot, and I ended up keeping about 12 of them. Excuse me. And that's because a couple of the games, they either suck or they're just ones I already have. Thanks Crossbow Training. I got that with the lot. Haven't played it, but I've heard it's an okay game. That's one of those games that you can get for like $5 or less because it's so cheap. It was like a shooter game. You use Link and you shoot like targets and stuff in the game. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Double Agent definitely plays a bit differently than the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions because you're using the Wii nunchuck to move, But it's still pretty good on the Wii. It's still pretty fun. And yeah, I recommend that for the Wii. That's not bad. Day Blob, this is basically an interesting game. I thought this game was underrated, and it's good. Basically a non-colorful city, and you basically have to help the city out by coloring it because the townspeople are very depressed, and they're very sad. So you help them out by coloring the worlds and making it more colorful. It's a good game. Although I will say later on in the game it does get pretty hard and very challenging. But that's the way games are supposed to be, so not a bad game, give it a pass. And the last handful of games we have here, I have Mini Ninjas, which I think I got this one for free, or maybe it was Lego Star Wars 3. Haven't played it yet, but I've heard it's a decent game, so I picked it up for my Wii. Well, technically my Wii U, because I don't have a Wii. Yeah, I think it was Lego Star Wars 3 that I got for free. But this is a good Lego game. I'm not like huge into the Lego type of games, but I'll admit that they do have some appeal to me. But I'm not like super duper into them because I like more adult games. But it's a fun game for what it is. It's, you go through the levels, you kill like droids and stuff, and you're Star Wars characters, but in the form of Legos. So it's a decent game. I know the game was released on PS3 and Xbox 360 as well. It might have been on the PSP as well. Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. The same guy, Gimpy Ninja, that had this game also had Banana Blitz. And at the time, I could have gotten Banana Blitz, but he was sold out. And then, like, after I got paid, a few days later, he had another copy in his collection. He uploaded it to his eBay under the listings, and I was just about to snag it, and somebody got it. So I didn't get Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, but I got Step and Roll. I don't have the balance board for the game, but to be honest, I've heard that with the balance board, it makes the game even harder to play. So I just use the Wii remote and nunchuck. It's not a bad game. It's actually pretty good. Pretty fun game. If you like Super Monkey Ball. But still, to this day, I think Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2 are the best. Then we have Epic Mickey, which I just talked about. It's a good game. Good Disney license game. One of the better license games for Disney. Other than one of the Pirates of the Caribbean games. At World's End was a pretty good license game. And also the Kingdom Hearts games. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Obviously a must-buy if you have a Wii. This game's great. It's definitely fun. It's a good first-person shooter on the system. It's actually the best shooter game you could get besides like Red Steel and the Conduit. It's great. I recommend it. Definitely don't pass that one up. Cruisin, this is fun. This is a good arcade-style racer. If you remember Cruisin on the N64, they had 3 titles. They had Cruisin USA, Cruisin Worlds, and Cruisin Exotica. Here it's the same old good cruising game. Lots of speeding and lots of racing. Trying to get for first place. And it focuses on the fun. So it ends up being a really good racing game. And then the last game I actually got for free is Transformers Cybertron Adventures. Have not played it yet, but seen some gameplay on it, and it looks interesting. I'll look forward to playing that game very soon. And that's it, folks. Those are all my Wii games that I currently own. I haven't collected any more games, but I would like to get Super Mario Galaxy 2 back, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Obscure 2 The Aftermath, Tenchu, Shadow Assassins, and I'd also like to get The Last Story. That would be awesome to have Last Story. And Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles. So those are some of the games that I would like to have. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching my Nintendo Wii collection. This has been my Nintendo Wii collection. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to me. And God bless you and have a wonderful day. Peace.